You gave your employee a raise last year. They didn't do more work. They didn't take on more responsibility. They just showed up, did their job, and asked for more money. So you gave it to them just to keep the peace, just to keep them happy and make sure that they stay. But let's do the math. This repeats every year and it repeats across your whole team. So you've now put a compensation structure in place that's going to grow faster than your profit ever will. And that is just one of the mistakes eating your margin. I'm Abby Johnson, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development. I've worked with businesses in over 50 different industries to help them increase their profit, gain more time, and get the owner out of the day-to-day. And today, I'm going to show you how to build a pay plan that grows your profit instead of draining it. After doing financial assessments across multiple industries, I see the same mistakes coming up when it comes to pay plans for employees. And I get it. We want to retain our best people. We want to attract our best talent, but these mistakes end up shooting yourself in the foot and draining your profit so you can't even continue to have your business open anymore. The first mistake I see is giving away a percentage of revenue. Now, if this is a sales role, this is normal. This is a commission, but I've seen this go wrong in a couple ways. I once had a client who had an administrative person in their office and they were giving them a percentage of revenue. This person was not actively selling. They were accepting the payments and they were scheduling and doing other administrative actions, but they were not actively selling the packages. I don't know why this compensation plan started, but she was giving this person 10% of her revenue. That's 10% of her business, not even 10% of profit. It was 10% of revenue. Now, this was a super valuable person. Yes, we want to take care of them, but they should not be compensated like a salesperson when they are not doing the closing. And that brings me to sales. We aren't going to do a whole deep dive on sales comp plans, but I have seen it go wrong where someone is getting 10% of every sale they make. And in one of my clients' businesses, that person got that 10% for repeat business. And the problem was that this salesperson was not actively managing his accounts. A lot of the accounts were rebooking straight through the owner and not the sales rep. And yet the sales rep still got this guaranteed 10%. So what ended up happening was he got comfortable. He had 10% of a $1 million business essentially, and it made it so he was not hungry and going out and getting new business and fresh accounts because he could just lean back and get the same accounts coming back. So yes, there are times where it is appropriate to give a commission like this, but it has to be very well structured and it should be reserved for closers, to be honest. Now, I love bonus plans. I love giving people money above their pay, but it has to be tied to something. And that is the next mistake I see, is not giving performance incentives. People should be rewarded if they are hitting their targets and growing in their role, but you have to define what that looks like. So I like to do this in two different ways. First, tie bonuses to their KPI statistic or metric, so you have exact expectations of what their performance should look like. This makes it super clear to the employee that this is what you expect, and they now have a clear path of how to achieve that and therefore achieve some sort of bonus and reward tied to that performance. The second way I like to do this is having a bonus plan that is based off the growth of the company. If someone wants a raise and they want a bigger piece of the pie, they need to help make that pie bigger. So instead of someone coming to you asking for a raise every single year just because they've been there for a year, you tie raises to actual performance. Everyone in the team, everyone on your staff, whether they are a direct salesperson or not, knows what the revenue is and knows what the company's revenue goals are. So you pick a minimum viable number that is very comfortable and pays all of the bills for the business, and growth above that number, a percentage of it can be turned into a bonus pool and distributed throughout your staff. We actually have another deep dive video on this, on how to do bonus calculations, so you can check out that video if you want more details on it. Quick break before we keep going. If you're sitting here thinking that you don't even know your actual real numbers, then that's the actual problem. You can't create a compensation plan when you don't know what you can actually afford in the business. This is exactly why I created our free cash map. Click the link below, fill in our free cash map, and it'll show you exactly where you stand financially and give you goal percentages to hit in your business. So the next mistake I see is in those raises and just giving out raises year after year. I had a client who was doing this, and eventually it caught up to her to where her payroll was just too high and the business was not growing at a rate to where she could sustain annual raises for every single employee. What I like to do instead is tie raises again to performance. Tie it to their ability to grow in your business and give back more into the business in exchange for that raise. So what this could look like is having actual levels of pay in that role. Let's say you have a technician of some sort. Cool, you're a level 1 technician, you make X dollars an hour. That means you know how to prep the job, be an assistant on the job, do these easy steps of the job. If you want to raise, you need to become a level 2 technician. And at that point, you will make X dollars more per hour. In order to become a level 2 technician, you need to do XYZ on top of the level 1 duties. You must now have a certain level of technical skill that warrants that X dollar raise. And then you've got level 3 and you are a master technician. And then from there, you are a lead technician and you've got a crew under you. This gives people incentive to grow. It gives them a clear path of how to achieve their personal goals in their career. And that is what people actually want. They want to know what their path is, and they actually want to know what the expectations are so that they can meet it and earn those raises. So stop giving out raises every year. Give them actual milestones to achieve to earn those raises. We have a whole breakdown of this tiered career path system in our How to Decide on Pay Structure video, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about this system. So what I want you to do next is build a bonus structure that involves your whole team. This gives incentive to the team as a whole and also brings them together. Everyone's working together towards this goal. Then what I want you to do is create these tiers, this career path system for the different employees in your business so they have a full understanding of where their career path is, how to get their next raises, and what is expected from them as an employee. Most owners are paying for time and hoping for performance. But if you flip this around, then your employees actually start earning their pay instead of just collecting it. Look, I know what I'm talking about today is not going to be popular with everyone. You're going to have employees who just want to show up, get their paycheck, and get their raise every single year. But here's the truth. You didn't start a business to take care of everyone else while you run yourself into the ground, making less than your employees, sometimes skipping your own paycheck and not being able to pay your own mortgage payment. So paying for growth instead of paying for time is not unfair. It's the only way your business sustains so that it can pay anyone at all. I have seen payroll get out of control and that being a factor in someone closing their doors. So if you're ready to stop guessing and know what your business can actually afford, click below and download our free cash map now. It takes 5 minutes to fill in and will give you so much clarity around your numbers and where your business actually stands. I'll see you in the next video.